Well, good morning, and welcome to Thursday of the first week of Lent. Lots of encouragement from the gospel today from Matthew chapter 7, and perhaps for some of us, it comes at a real timely stretch in our opening lap of the pilgrimage of Lent. I just really want to encourage us today. I know that it's easy to begin Lent with a lot of desire, with a lot of hope. We launch into the pilgrimage of Lent on Ash Wednesday with our hearts very much desiring God and desiring to grow in our relationship with God. It's important to know that that relationship with God is in the context of a very real life, very real people, very particular circumstances that we find ourselves in at a particular time of life. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's real easy to get distracted. It's real easy to struggle. It's real easy to somehow or to sometimes have our experience of Lent maybe not meet our expectations of consistency. And if, these first days of Lent have been as easy for you, or you haven't been as faithful to your Lenten penance, or if you've done all that and God maybe seems a little distant, or the type of feelings that you had hoped that would return in these early days of Lent, maybe they're not there. And I just want to encourage you, if in the first 8 days of Lent things have been less than perfect, hey man, that's okay. In the first 8 days of Lent, if you've struggled a little bit, hey, that's okay. And I want to remind you of the truth of the gospel. Jesus in Matthew 7 reminds you and me, he reminds anybody who's struggling, ask, and it will be given you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. God's with you. You keep seeking, keep knocking, keep giving God your heart, and I promise you, things will open up. Lots of different reasons and lots of different ways we've become distracted. And the key and the encouragement is just to let God love you. Let Him be with you. Keep giving Him your heart and trust that He's there. If you have struggled in these early days of Lent, I would encourage you to read number 2567 in the Catechism. Again, that's number 2567 in the Catechism. The Church in the Catechism in that paragraph says, and I quote, God calls man first. Let me just stop right there. God called you first. Before you tried to reach out to God this Lent, God called you first. The Catechism continues. Man may forget God, may hide far from His face, may run after idols, or accuse God of having abandoned Him. Yet the living and true God tirelessly calls each person to that mysterious encounter known as prayer. In prayer, God's initiative of love always comes first. Our own first step is always a response. End quote. God's calling you first. God's reaching out to you. Be not afraid. Let the Lord love you. He's tirelessly calling you. And if you're disappointed with these first days, maybe if you haven't been able to live up to your end of the bargain, hey, let that go. Start fresh today. Clean slate. And simply let the truth of the church and the truth of the gospel give you hope that God's with you. God bless you.